Morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Monday, the 16th day of September 2024. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope your family's safe and healthy and that your family had a good weekend. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, alongside first responders who every day are trying their best to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage, keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also victims of pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators of these things, on those who profit from these things, and the actual perverts that create the great demands for these things. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 600,000 men, women, children, increasingly senior citizens, homeless in the United States of America with veterans, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Sometimes, brethren, sometimes. Oh, by the way, shout out to, what was his name? Brother I met in the supermarket yesterday. He came up to me and said, "You raw?" I said, "Yeah, how you know?" And he told me he watched the channel right here in Florida. Forgot his name, though. Shout out to the brother, man. What was the brother's name? Damn, I'm sorry, brother. I forgot your name. Too much on my mind right now. By the way, also, thank you all for your prayers, well wishes. My wife is back home. She's fine now. You know, she's getting stronger. Not 100% yet, but it's on the way. Much better than she was a week ago. 100% better. So thank you for your well wishes and prayers. We greatly appreciate that. I think his brother's name was Paul. And his wife was Maritza. Yeah, my wife was Maritza. Boricua. Shout out to y'all. So sometimes on the channel, right, I feel like a fireman. Why do I feel like a fireman? Because I'm always putting out fires that are created in Knicks Nation. Let me explain. So the Knicks now have 19 players coming into camp. This was before they signed to another Exhibit 9 contract, Mook, otherwise known as Marcus Morris Sr. This is Mook. Played for the Knicks before. So now they have 20. They can hold 21. So listen, before y'all start tripping about the next guy they sign, they're going to sign another guy. I don't know who it is, but they're going to bring in the full 21 players that you're allowed to bring in to camp. Okay? Now, Exhibit 9 deals mean there's no guarantee. You're basically getting a contract to be invited as a vet to come and try out for the Knicks. It doesn't mean you're going to be on the team. They only get ready to keep. Some of y'all just have an unlimited number of players you think the Knicks have. There's 15 players on the roster. They have 20 guys now coming into camp, and they're going to have a 21st one. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know who it is, but don't start tripping when they do. People start tripping and already putting a guy in a rotation and already got, listen. Marcus Morris is not the same Marcus Morris that played for the Knicks in 2019, 2020. That was an eternity ago in terms of basketball life. He was 30 years old when he was here, and he was playing very well for the Knicks at the power forward spot. He is now 35. You are not the same player, with some exceptions like LeBron. You are not the same player at 35 that you were at 30, especially in the league like the NBA. You are not. And just to show, he averaged 11 points a game when he was playing for the Clippers in 2022, 23, 2 years ago. He averaged 11 points a game playing 28 minutes a game for the Clippers. And that's about as max you could get out of him. Since then, the last 2 years, he's been averaging 6 points a game. He's not the same guy. Okay? And somebody's going to say, well, we can use that. No, we can't. And let me explain why. Tom Thibodeau plays a 9-man rotation. The rotation is set. He does have 2 extra guys. He always does. He has 2 extra guys that's as a 10th and 11th guy that's going to play. They're not in the rotation, but they play because injuries are a part of every season. Now, last season for the Knicks, the injuries were more pronounced than normal. We lost Mitchell Robinson, which wasn't a great surprise, though it was a disappointment. But then we lost Julius Randle after 46 games. Then we lost OG after we had just got him and he only played like 17 games. And then with 5 games less in the season, we lost Jalen. Well, Jalen Brunson broke his hand in the playoffs, I believe. He broke his hand in the playoffs, not in the season. He broke his hand in the playoffs. And so we were dependent. The guys that played the most last year were Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, Jalen, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Deuce. Then after that, it was Precious. Those are the guys that were playing for at least half the season last year, carrying the Knicks to the second seed in the East. So that, you don't want to see that happen every year, certainly, and definitely not this year. So the rotation is set. The other 2 guys are going to be Cameron Payne and Jericho Sims. Those are your 10th and 11th guys. So they're going to, and they will see minutes because of injury, foul trouble, this and that. And it don't have to be a serious injury. For example, if you've watched Jalen Brunson, you know he takes a lot of punishment. He gives his body up for charges just about as much as anybody in the league. And he sprains ankles quite a bit. So he was going to, last year he played 77 games, which is Iron Man for him. But I'm thinking 72. So that means you're going to have 10 games where you're going to see Deuce McBride starting and then Cam Payne moves into the guard rotation. But it's not something you're going to see all the time. And then, of course, there's Mitchell Robinson, which we know we're just hoping he can give us 60. Okay, which means you're still going to have Jericho Sims starting 22 games. And you're going to have last year, Precious Achiuwa played, 49 games for the Knicks. But he wasn't hurt. He played 49 games after the trade. So that's what you want to have. After that, whatever, you could have whoever. So we talked about this yesterday, but for y'all who wasn't here yesterday in the podcast, let me go over it again. There's going to be 21 players for 15 spots. Okay. Now, really, you could look at it as 21 players for 18 spots, but I'll explain why that's not the case, because you can keep 3 two-way players. The Knicks already have 3 two-way players. Ariel Hukporti is signed. Jacob Toppin is signed. And Kevin McCullough from Kansas is signed. These are all signed to two-way deals already. Already done. So take that off the table. You could take the 9-man rotation off the table. So that's 12 spots right there that's gone already. Okay? 12 out of 18. So now you're talking about 6 spots that's left for 9 guys. Somebody's getting cut. Now, again, we could take Tyler Kolek off the table because I don't think he's going to play, but I think this is a great year for him to be in the G League playing full time, even though he's a signed contract guy. He's on the roster, but get his reps in the G League with Hukporti, with Kevin McCullough, with Jacob Toppin, with those guys. Plus, you're going to have him in the G League and getting those reps with the other rookie, Pacome Daddier, who is not going to play. These guys aren't going to play. Okay, so they're not even ready to play in the NBA yet. So they're going to get plenty of time and reps with Dice Yoshimoto and the rest of the staff developing in the G League. So now you're talking about you had 9 rotation spots, 3 G League spots. Now you take Tyler Kolek off the table. You take Pacome Daddier off the table because they're not going anywhere. They're going to be here, but they'll be playing in the G League. So now you have, that was 12 plus 3 plus 2 is 14. You got 14 spots done. Okay, 14. And wait a minute. No. Yeah. Let me add this up now. 9-man rotation. I have it right. Then there's Sims and Cameron Payne. That's 11. Then you got the 3 G League guys. That's 14. Then you take off Tyler Kolek and Pacome Daddier. That's 16. So now you're really talking about 2 spots. That's it. And so between Larry Shamet, Mook, Okeke, there's him, Bates, Diop, all of them ain't going to be on the team. Okay, so you got 2 spots, and they're not going to play. These are guys that could be on the roster. They're not going to play. They're going to be cheerleaders, basically. So you're talking about Keita Bates Diop. You're talking about Larry Shamet, Kuma Okeke. You're talking about Mook, and there's going to be another player. They're going to sign another guy. I'm going to tell you in advance. They're going to fill the full 21 players for training camp. I don't know who the guy is. They'll probably announce it very soon. There's going to be a 21st player. So all of those guys are going to be fighting for a roster spot at the end of the roster for a minimum contract. That's what they're fighting for. All of them. Okay? Minimum contract. $3 million. That's what they're fighting for right now. So don't get all hyped for Larry Shamet or Mook or whoever the next guy is they sign. They're just trying to make the team. They're just trying to make the roster. That's it. Okay? Especially when you read that Shamet and Mook and the next guy they sign, I'm going to tell you right now, they're all going to be Exhibit 9 deals, which means they're 1-year contracts if you make the team. But you got to make the team. Okay? That's how this works. So when you read, Shamet signed a 1-year deal, Mook signed, that's not guaranteed money. That's only if they make the team. Okay? And as I just explained to you, they're going to be hard pressed to make the team. Because like I said, Pacome Daddy ain't going nowhere. He'll be playing the year in the G League. Tyler Kolek is going to be playing the year in the G League. Ariel Huporti, Kevin McCullough, and Jacob Toppin are signed to 2-way deals. So that 5 spots is out. That's done. Your first 11 spots is done. Done. You got 9 already done with the regular 9-man rotation. Then, like I said, Jericho Sims and Cam Payne. That done. Cam Payne is on a guaranteed 1-year deal. Okay? He ain't got to make the team. He's on a guaranteed 1-year deal. Jericho Sims on a guaranteed 1-year, $2 million. Okay? So they're on the team. They got to really trip over themselves, come in, fail the drug test or something for them not to make the team. And you know that ain't happening. So these guys the Knicks are signing are just names to press the other guys and to see if they can make the roster. That's it. You're talking about right now with Bates Diop. And Bates Diop, I'm not even sure if his deal might be guaranteed at 2.6. I know he got 2.6 coming to him, but I don't know the ramifications of that deal. But you got Bates Diop, you got Kuma Okeke, you got Shamet and Mook, and there's going to be another guy. So, So here for 24-25, Bates Diop has got a player option, which he has exercised. So that money is guaranteed. So now you really got 1 spot. You got 4 guys in Shamet, Mook, Okeke, and another guy that they're getting ready to sign that's fighting for 1 roster spot. Okay? And whoever wins the roster spot just wins the right to get $3 million. They ain't going to play. All right? So I'm just trying to keep a realistic. People think, well, Mook can bring this to the Knicks and this guy can bring that to the Knicks. They may not bring nothing but towels or they may not even be on the team. All right? So there's going to be another guy. I don't know who it's going to be. It could be a 5. I don't know who it's going to be. But don't get too excited because they got to make the team. They're fighting for 1 spot. Okay? They're fighting for 1 spot. When you look at it, that's what it is. Many of your people be trying to put their little fantasies on the Knicks and think that they're going to do other than what I just told you they're going to do, which is, listen, Tibbs is very consistent in what he does. That's one of the things I like about him. Some of the consistencies people don't like, all right, but you can't argue he's consistent. He doesn't change. This is what he does. 9-man rotation is what he does. He rewards loyalty. There are guys that he just likes, that he trusts, that he knows he can depend on, and he don't care what anybody else thinks. Like I said, there was Derrick Rose at the time, there was Alec Burks at the time, there was Taj Gibson. He just knows those are his guys. He knows. Well, right now, Deuce is one of those guys. Josh Hart is one of those guys. Dante DiVincenzo is one of those guys. They got his trust. They ain't going nowhere. That's part of the 9-man rotation. And then, of course, Precious, who we all know can D up at a very elite level, so he's going to be in there. So look, yeah, Marcus Morris signed a contract. He may not be on the team. Shamet signed a contract. He may not be on the team. Okeke, I don't even know it. They don't even show a contract with him. He's on the roster right now, but he may not even be on the team. Okay. Bates Diop, he's got guaranteed money. He may not be on the team. I don't know. Okay. I could tell you the Knicks drafted Pacome Dadier and Tyler Kolek. And like I said, they're going to spend a year in the G League now. But they're going to be on the team. Okay? They're going to be on the team. The rest of these guys, like I said, they basically fighting for one roster spot. You got 4 guys vying for one roster spot. 1 or 2 roster spots. That's it. Okay? And we'll see. We'll see. That's what I'm talking about. So, again, I'm going to remind you, there'll be another signing because they have 20 guys now. They need 21 for coming to camp. There'll be another signing. And, whoever it is, Biyombo, I don't know. Some of y'all, bugging for, don't drop the soap, drive Dwight Howard, whatever. But I'm going to tell you right now, don't get all hyped about it because it ain't going to be all that. That person, along with what I just told you, they're 4 or 5 guys fighting for 1 or 2 roster spots. That's it. The right to get $3 million. That's it. Okay? And this is the thing. We should be hoping that we don't get the injury bug like we got last year. So this 11 guys we got, we should be. And listen, if you are playing one of your guys, let's say you're playing, somebody said, well, I guarantee you, I think Kolek's going to be in a rotation. Okay, you can smoke that if you want to. But what I'm saying is, if you actually see Tyler Kolek playing in a rotation, that means the Knicks are in big, big trouble. It's just like last year. When I was at the Orlando game, when the Knicks came to Orlando, they had 6 guys. They were playing Jacob Toppin. That tells you they're in big trouble. Okay, so what do I mean by big trouble? That means they're desperate. They're at the end. They're at the bottom of the barrel trying to get. And I'm not trying to down Jacob Toppin, but I'm saying he's not a rotation guy in the NBA. No, not right now. Okay, so when you start to see them having to play some of these guys you're pining for, if they end up having to play Mook Morris, the Knicks are in big trouble. Okay, you don't want to see that. You want to see them just playing the 9-man rotation with Sims, with Payne as necessary. That means that your Randalls are healthy, your OG Ananobis are healthy. That means your Jalen Brunsons, your Mitchell Robinsons are playing. That's what that means. And so you want to see that. The backups are, like I said, you're gonna have 11 guys total, 9-man rotation plus 2 more. If you need them, you're going to use them. There's no doubt. And like I said, injuries are a part of the season. People are going to sprain ankles. People are going to get rib injuries. People are going to be sore. People are going to get contusions. This happens every year. So you're going to miss some games with that. That's why you got a Cameron Payne and Jericho Sims. But you do not want to be going past that. If you got to go deeper in your bench, championship teams don't do that. They don't have to. And we want the Knicks to be a champion. So listen. Like I said, don't get hyped on these guys. Yeah, good. Mook is back. Nice story. He did play for the Knicks. I like his style. I like his toughness. I like his attitude, that Philly attitude. Yeah, I love that. But I ain't getting hyped to think he going to play. He ain't. He better make the team. Y'all enjoy your Monday. So